literally embodies the spirit of America. And frankly, the spirit of the Keystone State. Strong, freedom-loving, independent, optimistic, and willing to fight every day for what he believes in, and he's going to fight all the way to the White House. You know, when I think of this election, it's not so much a choice between two people. It's really a choice between two futures.
Right, baby.
So let me tell you where I stand. I choose a stronger America.
Right.
Woo! I choose a more prosperous America. I choose an America that upholds our highest constitutional ideals. So I choose to stand with Donald Trump and every American who believes we can make America great again. You know, and it's not like it's exactly been a fair fight out there.
No!
You know what I'm saying? I mean, ever since I joined this ticket,
Lock her up! 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 Lock her up!
Ever since I joined this ticket, I gotta tell you, it's like I gotta turn on the television in the morning with a stick. I never know what's gonna be on there. I mean, it's like the media's doing half of Hillary Clinton's work for her every day, but the amazing thing is Donald Trump is still winning hearts and minds every day, and he's going to win all the way to the White House.
Yeah!
But it really is amazing. It really is amazing the way the media, the allies of Hillary Clinton in the media have been constantly criticizing my opponent. And their willful ignorance about our opponent is something to watch, especially when it comes to the fast and loose ethics of the Clintons. You know, it really is amazing to think about, and we all know the story. While Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, in charge of all the foreign policy of the United States, her family had a private foundation that took millions of dollars from foreign governments and foreign donors, and she had a private server in between those two things, apparently to keep away from the public the communications about what exactly was going on. But you know, truth is a force of nature. And truth has a way of making its way out.
That's right, FBI.
I mean, we found out in the last week alone that the State Department under Hillary Clinton actually offered the FBI a quid pro quo if they would allow her to change the classified status of certain emails. We found out that even though she said it had never happened, that while she was Secretary of State, aides to Hillary Clinton actually said that they should flag businesses that were friends of the Clintons for contracts for the reconstruction of Haiti after Haiti. And then just this week we learned about the fact that the top aide to the Clintons would raise money for the Clinton Foundation from top-tier corporations, many of which were also lobbying the State Department, and then at the same time press those same corporations for personal contracts and personal income for Bill Clinton. They're even calling it Clinton Incorporated. But the big breaking news today, you may not have heard about it standing in line, folks.
FBI, baby! FBI!
Is that now we just learned that Hillary Clinton may have been a whole lot more than extremely careless when it came to handling classified information.
He has more info.
The director of the FBI, James Comey, this afternoon just sent a letter to the Congress reopening the investigation against Hillary Clinton and the property in Minnesota. Let me say regarding this very serious announcement by the FBI, I know I speak on behalf of my running mate when I say we commend the FBI for having the courage to reopen this case. No one is above the law.
It's about time! We did it to begin with! Thank God! About time!
But let me say this. Men and women of Pennsylvania, let me say this. With just 11 days left before a national election, an election of such enormous consequence in the life of this nation, we should heed the words of Abraham Lincoln, who said, "Give the people the facts and the republic will be saved." We call on the FBI to immediately release all the emails pertinent to their reopened investigation. The American people have a right to know, and they have a right to know before Election Day.
Go Pence!
You know, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm sick and tired of the Clinton scandals and corruption, pay-to-play politics. It's been emblematic of 30 years in public life with those two. But I'm going to tell you what, it all comes to an end in 11 days when we elect Donald Trump as President of the United States of America.
Go, baby!
And let me make you a promise. Not only are we going to stop the Clintons in their tracks, but we're going to drain the swamp. With ethics reform that gives us government as good as our people again.
Drain the swamp! 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 Drain the swamp!
You know, because the truth is, with all of these swirling controversies, the fact is that this election is about a whole lot more big things than their small ethics.
That's right.
It really is. And we need to talk about it in the days that remain. I mean, I really do believe, as I gather before you today, that my hope, my challenge to all of you is that you'll leave here today and you'll go tell somebody.
100%.
And not just the breaking headlines of today, but I hope you talk to them about the big things.
That's right. Job.
About security.
Job.
About prosperity.
Yeah.
And about the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
The Constitution.
They're all on the ballot.
Keeping my Second
They're
Amendment.
all on the ballot. So let's talk about it.
You got it.
On the security front, despite traveling millions of miles as our Secretary of State, there's no question that the world is more dangerous today than the day that Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama took over our foreign policy.
We're 100 times worse.
7.5 years of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton's policies have weakened America's place in the world. Our allies are less secure, our enemies are more emboldened. You know, history teaches that weakness arouses evil.
Yes, it does.
And I would offer that the weak and apologetic foreign policy of this administration, the architect of which was Hillary Clinton, of leading from behind, of moving red lines, of feigning resets with Russia, and paying ransom to terrorist-sponsoring states is emblematic of a failed leadership on the world stage. Let me make you a promise. When Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, we won't be paying ransom to terrorist-sponsoring states. They'll be paying a price if they threaten or detain the American people. But it was Hillary Clinton who actually initiated that disastrous agreement with the radical mullahs in Iran that culminated in that hundreds of millions in currency on the day that 4 Americans were released. $150 billion to Iran and only a delay in their nuclear ambitions. And it was Hillary Clinton as Secretary of State that failed to renegotiate that agreement with the sovereign country of Iraq that would have allowed us to keep American forces there, to preserve the hard-fought gains the American soldier had won in Operation Iraqi Freedom by the end of 2008. And make no mistake about it, through great sacrifice and courageous service, the American soldier won the peace in Iraq. Before I go one step further, my bet is that we've got some men and women in our midst who wore the uniform in that conflict and in conflicts in the long distant past. Would you mind putting your hand in the air and letting us show one more time how much we appreciate your service to this nation? What the American soldier won in Iraq, this administration squandered. Because Hillary Clinton did not negotiate an agreement to have a sufficient number of forces remain to preserve those gains, it created a vacuum in which the terrorist organization ISIS was able to literally rise up out of the desert and overrun vast areas that had been won by the American soldier. Our prayers are with our soldiers at this very hour on the other side of the world, special forces, more than 5,000, who are in harm's way outside Mosul, having to win back what had been already won before Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama took over. And lastly, it was Hillary Clinton and her State Department who left Americans in harm's way in Benghazi. And after 4 Americans fell, she actually told the parents of the fallen.
What difference does it matter?
She told the parents of the fallen, as their flag-draped coffins came off the aircraft at Dover Air Force Base, that it was because of a filmmaker in the States when she knew and wrote an email the night of the attack to her own daughter that it was an Al-Qaeda-style terrorist attack. When she was confronted on that version of the facts, a version of the facts that the administration propagated for days that would follow, she said words that ring into history. She said, "What difference at this point does it make?" Well, let me say, as the proud parents of a United States Marine, anybody who said that, anybody who did that, should be disqualified from ever serving as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the United States of America. You do not leave Americans in harm's way. And after they fall, you do not ask, what difference does it make? You know, we cannot have 4 more years apologizing to our enemies and abandoning our friends.
Disgracing our country.
America needs to be strong for our people to be safe. And Donald Trump will lead on the world stage with American strength. We will rebuild our military. We will restore the arsenal of democracy. We will provide our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines with the resources and the training they need to accomplish their mission, and they will hunt down and destroy ISIS at its source, so it cannot threaten our people or inspire violence in the homeland.